we began our investigation at the Hotel Denver, mere minutes away from where we would soon start our investigation. Both hotels, much like the town of Glenwood, Colorado, have over 100-year history in the West. Much of this resort town was once brimming with outlaws, gangsters, murderers, and a brief history attached to the events of World War II.
Today, our investigations lead us to Glenwood Springs in Colorado, home to one of the most haunted hotels in all of the country, let alone the state of Colorado itself. Some have claimed that this hotel is just as haunted, if not more so, than the Stanley Hotel up in Estes Park. This hotel goes by the name of the Hotel Colorado. Now, this is day one of our 3-day investigation, and day one actually has us at the Hotel Denver, a hotel that is over 125 years old and is delvedly rich in its own history. But today at the Hotel Denver, we're really just setting up, getting a game plan going, and then later today we're going over to the Hotel Colorado to do an initial scan of the area, check out some of the hot spots there, really just start to scout locations so that we are prepared for tomorrow's investigation. With that said, tomorrow we will be staying at the Hotel Colorado overnight doing our investigation. We will be utilizing spiritual methods using runes, tarots, and other readings and so on, as well as modern technology such as cameras and even an old transistor radio to try and pick up what paranormal activity has allegedly been claimed to be there. So until that happens, you're going to join us right now in scouting out the Hotel Colorado and learning a little more about the history behind it, right here on Third Palm Paranormal.
As we made our way into the Hotel Colorado, we became overwhelmed by the sheer antiquity of the building. Much of the hotel had maintained its complexity, including the steam-powered heating system and its overall foundation, even after having changed ownership over the decades. The ceilings were open and bare with pipelines and wiring. Many of the chandeliers that hung over us were older than we were. This was the hotel where President Theodore Roosevelt received the name Teddy Roosevelt. This was also the getaway for mobsters like Al Capone, who'd stay at this hotel on a need-to-know basis. It wasn't until we began to scout out the more notable and possibly haunted locations that a strange event occurred. Something we wouldn't realize had happened or would continue to happen until, of course, it was too late. It was here in the basement, which had been used as a temporary morgue during the Second World War, that our DSLR camera's audio would suddenly stop working altogether.
Which room is not in use anymore? That was...
Rumors had it that the sights of an old woman had been spotted down here, as well as the sounds of a typewriter, both witnessed by staff and guests passing through. With the dining room currently closed off, we made our way onto the 3rd floor. This had been one of a variety of locations where past investigators had noticed a fluctuation in temperature and an uneasiness ensue upon them. We also kept a close eye on the hallways, where a young girl could sometimes be seen playing with a ball and the smell of cigar smoke sometimes being recognized. Even the elevators had a story of their own, sometimes opening and closing at random without any guests or staff members causing the phenomena to occur. Random door knocks, flickering lights, strange energy, and swaying chandeliers have also been reported on this floor. It was also on this floor when our audio would return to normal.
Hey, what'd you just tell me?
Said I get a really weird vibe on this 3rd floor. Just very spooky.
It is very strange.
Continuing on to the 5th floor, and perhaps the most notable for ghostly happenings, our main objectives were centered around room 551. As the story goes, in 1982, new wallpaper was applied to this room. The next day, staff members entered the room only to see that the newly applied wallpaper had rolled off from the walls and back onto the ground. This strange event occurred a few more times before finally halting itself. There is also a hallway mirror next to room 551 where abnormalities and paranormal energy have been reported by investigators in the past. Little did we know on day one that our room would be located on this floor. Finally, at the top of the hotel, there exist two rooms that both lead to their respective bell towers. Rooms 661 and 662. 661 being the room of the famous Molly Brown. Each are known to exhibit their own sorts of paranormal activity respectively, from windows opening themselves to a woman hovering over men while they sleep. These rooms both carried their own history. It is also rumored that a woman can be seen standing atop of the balcony, a woman who had taken her own life by jumping from this balcony long ago.
And thumb is in the way. Now the sun's in the way. Hello everybody, Nicholas here with Kendra.
Hi.
And we are part of Third Palm Paranormal, if you couldn't figure it out by the video title and such. We just got done scouting out our location at the Hotel Colorado and went fairly well, I think. We went to the basement.
And the third floor and the fifth floor.
Checked out the hallways and such, and we even went to the bell tower. And the Molly Brown suite, which is really awesome. But during which time, I think it started, on the third floor. And you mentioned it.
Very spooky up there.
In what way, though?
Just very quiet, very atmospheric.
It was very quiet, but we could hear some strange sounds coming from like the heating unit and the pipes above and the ceiling and stuff that were really strange.
Yeah.
And then, I know you felt it too, but there was this kind of strange aura.
Very strange.
Around us.
Very spooky.
It felt a little uncomfortable.
Yes.
Which is not the right thing to say when you're going into a hotel you're about to stay at. But yeah, it felt just really estranged. And then we went into the basement, and all of a sudden, like, everything just it felt so, how do I describe it? Just confined.
Yes. Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, so
Fun.
we'll call it fun. So we're heading back to the Hotel Denver for the night, but we are so pumped to check out this place tomorrow night.
Very pumped. See you tomorrow.
See ya.
Making our way back to our first hotel, the Hotel Denver, we prepped ourselves for the investigation before making our way into bed. Unfortunately, it would become a rather restless night for the both of us. Take my word for it when I tell you that sometime before bed, right around 11 p.m., Kendra and I both heard a distinctive knock at our door. I got up to check through the people and saw no one. Later on, around 2 a.m., I felt an uncomfortable chill run up along my back, even though the hotel's electric heating system was set at a steady 68 degrees. I also had a dream where I was surrounded by people who I did not know, asking whether this was my story or their own. Had something followed us back from the Hotel Colorado after our thorough scout? This remains unclear.